draft for the second game. Olaf also notably banned away by ThunderTalk really early. This happened last game as well. ThunderTalk banning the Olaf. Respectful, of course. Olaf very strong champion, but first round is something different.
We're taking Ori. Okay. I personally am surprised. I think, again, maybe they're saying let's try to get a strong lane, but then EDG are just going to respond with a lock. I've been really excited about this champion, and EDG get to take the Pantheon. This is what I would have preferred. If I'm ThunderTalk, I'm saying, are we first picking Pantheon, or are we first picking Lee Sin here? And the case here for TT is they decide we're going to get Ori. We're going to see what we can pair it with. I think Lee Sin is not as exciting of a pair, but maybe they just want to like let Junhao have a splash, let him kind of run the game as this Lee Sin. Just Orianna gets ran over. This could be a game where Bulldog gets a double MVP just because the lane is so favorable for him.
Yeah, there is right now the beginnings of an extremely one-sided game. And it looks like it'd be in EDG's favor as of this moment. ThunderTalk could turn it around, but it is kill or be killed at basically every moment past 5 for the EDG roster. They have so much damage that it is ridiculous, and I really like the idea of locking in a Camille here. It doesn't particularly matter what support they end up going. The Camille seems appealing to me because of the lockdown that she provides so quickly, and that being really important for Pantheon and Lock. Rel, similar situation, slightly less snap engaged than Camille, but a little more reliable through the game.
Jay Petto did a whole segment on Camille. I don't think we're going to be seeing Camille support for a very long time. She did not deserve to be in support for what it's worth. That was a freak champion, and I'm glad we got rid of it. Now we're going into second phase. I think if I were to look at these drafts, Dia, I really like EDG. I think setup for Lock is there. I think Pantheon having upfront damage for Lock so that his Purgatory gets closer to the execute is bingo on the money for me. And depending on how this lane matchup goes, Heru could opt or might be forced to go for Tier 3 Merc Treads and Roa, which means the damage from ThunderTalk is going to be very, very limited and in short supply. So I need to see high damage top and AD carry picks coming in from On. It could be a Sivir, which would do well, but you can already see that a lot of marksmen are being taken out, especially when we're talking about trying to play around ZDZ and potential top lane counter picks.
Yeah, with the Olaf ban, there is a lot of focus being put on what on earth Keshi and ZDZ are going to take into each other, especially with the safe pick of the Cassante already taken out in the first game. For the moment, EDG going to save that responsibility for a little bit later on. The Sivir here does really work, especially into Nautilus, gets to play backline, gets to speed everyone else up on EDG as well, making these team fights potentially even more one-sided. I'll take a Corki. I stand by the Sivir, though.
I would have taken the Sivir. It's literally on second most played this year, and just I think pairs for ThunderTalk, it gives them really comfortable scaling. But we're still going to get the counter pick in top lane, so Keshi's kind of in a bad spot. You don't want to pick Mbessa, even though it's his best champion, because of this champion that he's hovering right now, Renekton. But there are still plenty of Renekton matchups that you can go. Like, Gnar is still available for him, and that could still end up going well. You can play Aatrox, you can play Zehen. You kind of see a low-range composition from ThunderTalk, and honestly, Zehen still kind of works for me. So EDG are getting everything they want, and when I see Lock on a team, I want as much damage as possible to be surrounded around next to him. And that is what I think EDG have done very, very well here.
Sivir going to be locked in instead for ThunderTalk. What will be the last piece for EDG? What's going on with ZDZ in the top lane? Will he be the frontliner for this team, or will he be, as you said, the extra bit of damage? I'm really thinking around whatever Parukia's got going on with this Rel as well. This could be a pretty devastating series of team fights. We're likely going to finish this game going Bulldog as the hero, but I will be very, very happy if we get a couple of sick Parukia ults to set him up.
Sure. In this game, I think focus does have to, again, go to On if we're looking at ThunderTalk. He has been the consistent carry. There have been games where we have seen him kind of falter, and with the lane matchup in mid, I am kind of expecting that Heru is going to go for a more defensive itemization. I just look at this enemy team. Edward Gaming, however, very short-ranged, and if you are second to an objective, you're going to be playing into a setup Orianna, you're going to be playing into a Sivir and a Nautilus that are already entrenched. You can cancel out Rel Engage with multiple different spells coming in from either Lee Sin or from Nautilus. I think EDG need to play their fights very, very fast, and I mean, they're going to be incredibly strong on 1 and 2 items, so I want to see them be able to kind of run over their opponents if they're going to take this game and take this series.
Let me fire that up. Let me run that by my team real quick.
Thank you. Look, you did it.
Listen, you know what the LPL broadcast, and more importantly, Alec, what my color caster asks, I must deliver. And well, here are the Giles for the start of the game. It's really what the fans ask for.
Thank you so much, Dia. Thank you, Dia.
I got you.
All right, now do a backflip.
Wait a minute.
Guys, if my play-by-play goes missing,
and possibly others were to do a backflip.
All right, Bulldog win for Ignite. Not something we tend to see. So wants to do all-ins. Once Locke gets his first recall, I feel like this lane matchup is so easy. Orianna does not have the damage. And again, I would apologize, but I'm not going to because I don't care. Locke, Soul Ignition, his W, it needs to be nerfed. I'm going to keep making my stance clear. We need to nerf this champion because this ability is way too broken. The heal on it is disgusting. The movement speed is good. I don't think the cooldown is long enough, I think.
They should give Soul Ignition to Sivir's ultimate. That's what we should do. It's everybody gets Soul Ignition, and then just give Locke Sivir's ultimate move speed. What do we think? Yes or yes?
Ooh, you put me in a bad position here. I don't know if I can agree with this one. Chorus is coming up. We're just going to do a quick pivot here. Lee Sin took his recall. He's going to get his longsword. Thankfully for EDG, they will not have to meet an early longsword recalled Lee Sin in the river, considering the junglers are going to opposite sides. Renekton does have to be very careful. If this lane matchup gets out of hand, you are going to lose incredibly quickly. So I wonder what his recall is going to be, because he went for D-Shield. And the wave is, if ZDZ is smart, he will keep this in front of his turret and make it so that Keshi basically loses all of the gold and has to just merely pick up the experience.
Seems like just about what he's up to right now. Bulldog able to get the wave, at least on his side of the lane for right now. No teleport for him does mean the wave control even more important for Bulldog, and Heru is going to be able to cut out a lot of that pain and suffering by just using the teleport to get back, as he so chooses to do. I'm going to be keeping my eyes on Jia through this match as well. I am a big Pantheon watcher, and it's not always a positive thing that I come away with. There are Pantheon games that are won with a Pantheon playing very un-Pantheon-like gameplay, and I want Jia to hit me with some Pantheon-like gameplay, because that is exactly the thing you were talking about when combining Bulldog and Jia's power.
You've completely desensitized me to the word Pantheon, so now it just feels weird to hear at this point. Your Pantheons per minute were a little too high, and I would prefer if there was now... Oh, Keshi. Ooh, I liked it. I respect the call.
There is a Greek man walking into the bot lane. Jia will pick up his first Greek and or Roman mythology kill of the game. Did that help? Was the Pantheon?
Thank you.
No,
I appreciate it. Unfortunately, he is neither Greek nor Roman. He is Targonian.
Well, so, yeah, but, you know, it's...
Yeah, I get it. Oh, here comes a 2v2.
Let's see what's going on. Well, Greek, Roman, or not, That man is definitely blind, and he's also up a kill.
That guy's actually Ionian, funnily enough. So
Also true.
Oh, guys, I'm getting distracted. Dia's bringing the cat on the stream. Sorry, everybody. There's no gameplay happening anymore.
Yeah, unfortunately, the cat required pets. Otherwise, I was going to get meowed out through another. Probably Xie a kill as he shows up in the mid lane. Feather are going to try and Spider-Man his way out of here. Bulldog's got plenty of damage. Xie's got other plans for Feather, though, and Bulldog going to follow up on that with Parukia ultimately collecting the kill. Bit of a disjointed play from EDG, but ultimately picking up the kill. It's a win.
I think Bulldog, Parukia, and the two of us were all in the same boat. Yeah, this is not going to be a kill. This guy just had his Aftershock. He's just going to Spider-Man hook his way out of the lane, and we should be fine. Nope. Jiji decides, no, we're getting this kill. I want to finish the series into 2-0. I want to make sure that we're winning, and I want to increase the amount of Pantheons per day to maybe getting a win here for this. Cleanse out for Mon is pretty expensive, but is going to be fine. I mean, it's Sivir for crying out loud. I don't imagine we're going to be seeing too much action outside of that. But this is a good early game from EDG. I want to see more. Get the Bulldog, or get this lock rolling. Make sure that Gnar is comfortable so that Keshi can't really do very much.
Now shows up. Does he take away the Grump? No, he's not. Xie connects with the smite, and Junhao gonna have to walk himself out of the jungle. I will say that sort of disjointed play that we were talking about earlier, it's exactly the kind of Pantheon play that does make me smile. I'm very happy to see Xie getting aggressive and Parukia getting aggressive. Even better, Heru does have flash, so very safe. Even if he's taking quite a bit of damage off this, and Xie gonna go for the invade again. Knows he's strong, abuses it, and Junhao gonna lose most of the small raptors.
Xie, what are you doing to me, brother? You are, I'm feeling things for the Pantheon right now. He's taking no prisoners. He's just like, guys, we're doing this. Either you're behind me, or you're in my way, okay? I'm gonna take his raptors, I'll press in the Q. You can't stop me. I'm also going to take the scuttle. I'm going to go to my bot side now. I'm going to be able to clear out. I have ultimate, so any of these lanes that tend to overextend, that could be a punish. I think with Keshi, or with On not having cleanse anymore, maybe there's a look, but there's a lot of people running towards the bot lane right now. Maybe Bulldog is just trying to abuse some honey fruit, and I get that as a mid laner.
That could be all good. We do have Dragon up as well. Bulldog very safe in the river. With the Ashen Pursuit making it basically impossible for Feather to land a hook on him at this point. Junhao, however, has shown up in the bot side, and we've seen him here before. Last time it ended up pretty good. Xie, with the ultimate up, can answer very quickly should he see the enemy jungler showing up in one of his lanes.
Taking stock of the game, Dragon's not going to really be started yet. I think as we get later into this game, obviously Orianna plus Sivir is going to be two champion pairs that just give you a lot of what I would consider bland but serviceable team fighting, right? Sivir is not an incredibly exciting champion to watch in team fights, and Orianna definitely way more in terms of what she can do, but it's not like... I guess the word I'm looking for is sexy, right? Like you're gonna get a huge shockwave, and maybe that's the best part about it. But again, look at what we were talking about from the draft. Look at Orianna's build. She has a Catalyst in inventory. Likely she is going to be building a Merc Treads, and that just means that Heru's ultimates and the rest of his kit not gonna have a ton of damage.
EDG's ton of damage is about to show up around the Void Grubs. That is the first one going over to Junhao, but with Heru having first rotate here, maybe the second one can go over to ThunderTalk as well, I say, and as the sentence completes, they've decided that is not going to be true. Xie going to pick up the second Void Grub, likely third as well. Just a little too powerful around the top side of the map, even at this moment. Bulldog having completed those recently buffed Sork shoes that you were talking about.
Yeah. Man, I'm surprised that Riot decided to buff these boots. I know why. Again, I think it is correct from a game design decision to decide, like, hey, we should probably incentivize pro play and solo queue to be more offensive and not just have, like, boring Catalyst builds every single game. But this boot is already pretty good. And Tier 3 mid lane upgrade is also very, very strong. I want to see if TT can abuse this upcoming timer that they have, because... Oh, I think we're fine. Feather has ultimate, Parukia doesn't. And that should mean that we are playing for something. I think it could have been the Dragon, probably going to be waiting on Heru to TP back to lane, but that is something that is very surprising and could be a timer that ThunderTalk, if they don't properly punish, might actually kind of ruin their early game.
Well, we're thinking about the strengths of the bot lane. Renekton Gnar has been going pretty well for Keshi. EDG has been playing this matchup respectfully, and that's all good, but the Renekton is doing its job. It's not, as we sometimes see, just getting outplayed by an Gnar and ultimately being a nothing stat stick champion. Keshi actually looks like he could one-shot ZDZ. He's playing like it, and that gives me a lot of hope for later on in this game. Mega Gnar going to come out. Keshi still going to take the fight, and ZDZ, as he pops out of Mega, can't really continue it.
Yeah, I just don't know if that's really, like, possible. That maybe if we bring Lee Sin, because he has E-Helm and he has the Blade Steel Cap. I think it's really tough. Oh!
I think so. Flash forward, gonna go at least 1-for-1 as underneath the tower. Keshi expires. Small wave gonna be missed, but Jeje picks up the Dragon in trade. So EDG lose their top laner, but get the first Dragon.
Yeah, it's a kill. It is in Junhao's pockets, but that's double flash for that. It's not my favorite trade. This is tough, DM. Like, yes, ThunderTalk scale, but EDG have a lot of ways that they can make team fights happen, and that kind of play almost kind of reeks of desperation to me, just because ZDZ is the one that is under threat in the early game. You're playing Gnar into Renekton. Renekton is going to get bullied, but once he gets level 6, he can kind of, like, at least survive the lane, and then he's supposed to do stuff afterwards. But they also didn't get a majority of the grubs. So it's like, what else is Renekton supposed to do? I don't think a 10 CS lead is enough to really move the needle in their direction.
That's a really nice landmark moment for ZDZ, though. As awkward as it was,
yeah,
that was his 1000th kill. I mean, that was pretty exciting. 1000th kill goes. Parukia, speaking of excitement, is gonna get going onto Feather. First ult from Jeje connects right on top of a doomed Nautilus, and a Scuttle Crab goes to EDG as a bonus, with ThunderTalk losing all River Prio.
Ooh, and most importantly, Bulldog gets his mid lane quest right as he's moving down. Doesn't end up getting to affect the lane, but having access to the tier 3 Sork Pen boots, we talked a lot about it thanks to the new patch. Could open up something, especially with quests coming up. I want to see if there's one that's going to be more important or one that's more close to being finished, because bot lane quests, if you finish them and then start a team fight immediately or close to it before the enemy AD finishes their quest, you just get so much gold out of nowhere thanks to getting more gold on takedowns, and you could generate a massive lead for yourself doing that. So we're not going to have a fight. It is likely that ThunderTalk will finish all of their quests before the next dragon spawns, but I'm already looking at it. Jeje's completed his, so he has the upgraded smite. Mid's done. Top lane's done. This is a lot of extra resources that ThunderTalk will eventually get access to, but do not have it right now.
ThunderTalk, even finding themselves behind at the moment, doesn't bode well for them, given the immense amount of damage that EDG have on their composition to go alongside the lock that they drafted so early on. 2 minutes left until both the Rift Herald and then very soon afterwards the Dragon come up, where EDG will actually be able to manifest that advantage as long as they're able to get to the objective first, which, as you mentioned in draft, is a critical part of the way that EDG need to play this.
There's a fight here. Yeah, can be here, brothers. Oh my, can you please get rid of Ashen Priest? This is lock champion.
How many possible things can we ask to be deleted off of lock before we're just asking for lock to be
We
deleted?
can just get rid of the champion. I'm down with that. I'm down. The only part of his kit that I don't have a problem with is his ritual nails. Actually, his ultimate's kind of cool as well. And we've seen, I think a lot of people try to like classify or typify Locke as like this scaling assassin, but all of his damage is based on missing health, which is really tough versus tanks. And his ultimate scaling is not that much, especially because the ultimate itself is pretty tough. We're gonna see look for a dive onto Heru. No one is here, guys.
This looks like a situation where missing health is sort of the operative term. Heru missing all of it. And EDG grab that kill very easily, even getting the teleport out of Keshi as a bonus. Actually, we're going to trade teleports as EDZ moves down to the bot lane, so they'll get a little bit of extra turret damage for this as well.
This is where I feel that ThunderTalk being dictated to is incredibly punishing, because that play happens, Heru loses his flash, yes, Keshi ends up replying with a teleport and catches the wave, but On also tried to move with Feather, and by the time that happens, he misses out on a wave. That's extra plates there for leave. So these small things that are going to eventually cut away at ThunderTalk are just making it more and more tough. Now Dragon is coming up in 30 seconds. There's a Herald. I want to see what the decision making is going to be, because for now it'll be the top laners who can't join this fight, but EDG have a very, very good conversation or a leading discussion for them getting the second Dragon.
The fact that EDG are on the precipice with the way that they are playing right now of not just a second game win of the day, but a second series win of the week is not a place that many people, myself included, thought we would be when the week began. It's a big turnaround for EDG to even be considered as a team that could be winning this series in a few short minutes. Junhao wants to finish off the Rift Herald. Does not get it. That is a smite that actually connects from Xiaohao instead. Will they at least win the fight afterwards? ThunderTalk, they picked up one kill. It will be traded as Leaf joins the fight. It looks like ThunderTalk should grab another as Keshi flashes away. They may even deny more than that. Feather will fall. Leave looks for Keshi inside the brush, but does need to be careful about the way he does it. Xiaohao spots him with the Oracle and will get the kill on top of all that. EDG get the Rift Herald, they get the bot lane tower, and they get 3-4 kills to boot.
Oh, JJ even uses the ultimate, but that was clean from JJ, man. See the wireframe, thanks to the oracles, you pointed it out there, throws the Comet Spear and is able to stop the Renekton before he can get anything done. Bottom lane turret is gone. Trinity Force here for Corki. That means the top lane tier 1's also likely gone. EDG just tripled their gold in a matter of one fight. What happened in bottom lane while we were fighting here? Waits for the bone plating to fall off, and honestly just kind of raw dog solo kills him like that. That is really good from Bulldog.
Another look at the top lane fight as well. Xiaohao outsmiting a Lee Sin here is pretty difficult to live through, but ThunderTalk have the beginnings of a good fight.
Yeah, but they just don't have the damage. Like, Keshi is supposed to be the main damage right now. It is a Junhao Wild Arrows 1 item Sivir. This guy does nothing in this position. You're fighting against Trinity Force. Like, it's just not comparable in my mind here. This was clean. Yeah, saw the wireframe immediately. Pops him. And now he just gets space. Nice Tiamat, nice Stride Breaker. It's not going to matter. You get farmed up all the same. 4,500 gold lead here for Edward Gaming.
Things have gone from bad to worse for ThunderTalk fans, as much as they clearly believed during the early game Gios. Right now, there's a lot of breath holding going on in the arena, I am sure, because EDG have taken a firm gold lead in this game, and that's going to come with command of it, especially with the second dragon spawning, and the Rift Herald not even needed to take this mid lane tower. More of a formality than anything. Looks like it should crash on the second tower as well, so a little bit of extra damage coming through for EDG is going to go nice by them. And the dragon being picked up here as the Rift Herald crashes cements this 5,000 gold lead as a game that EDG should be able to close.
All right, for my 5 ThunderTalk fans in the audience watching tonight, you are waiting probably another 7 minutes. Because we're going to wait for the next dragon, and by that time, hopefully On will have 3 items, and similarly there for Heru. We are likely going to be giving up the next dragon as ThunderTalk, so we need to spike it all. We need to send, put all the chips on red, everything going towards Soul Point Dragon here for Edward Gaming, and pray to whatever deity is most convenient and applicable that we're gonna win a team fight, because right now we're down levels in a lot of our in some of our lanes. We're down items, we're down damage, and we have nothing to play for. We have nothing to play with either.
You know, one of the things that is really nice about this from a larger term perspective, not in the LPL, but on this specific broadcast, is that at the beginning of the day, you and I chose to highlight 2 EDG players, and they're doing quite well. Bulldog had a great game in game number 1, earning himself a player of the match, or player of the game rather, and Jie is crushing it on the Pantheon right now. Has been the biggest reason why they're winning this game, and may continue to be so as ult gets channeled by him. It does get kicked into the backline and shockwave as he tries to flash out, so a bit of a caster curse for Jie, unfortunately. But EDG having to disengage from this fight. They have lost a lot more than just their jungler. That is 2-3 kills very quickly going to ThunderTalk. With no objective to speak of outside of the Baron, they're not going to be able to gamble on anything just yet, but that team fight was big.
Excellent performance there, Dia. That was truly magnificent, what you just did for ThunderTalk. I don't know how you reached all the way from your cozy apartment to Xi'an in China, but you just completely worked magic in this fight. Like, Leave can't deal much damage in this position. I just think a missequencing of spells there from Mr. Jie. And perfectly speaking, you're kind of leading up to this fight as like us bringing up 2 players from EDG. Well, I can't claim anyone from Edward Gaming because I misinput. I said Junhao for some reason. So I don't even get to claim it. And maybe that's for the better.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Jie. Maybe spared a little bit more cursing as the game goes on. Don't let it take away while that fight was scuffed. You know, it's been a pretty good game outside of it. So yeah. we've still got hope. EDG do get their gold lead cut, not in half, but pretty close to it. And that should give ThunderTalk fans even more hope than what you were able to dole out earlier, because the reality is that while we're looking at this game and EDG should be able to close it out, they also probably shouldn't have been in the position that they were during this split. They've been able to throw a lot of leads before.
You know, I just remembered this game is cooked. I forgot. It's ZDZ Gnar. How could I have forgotten this? I have watched so many games this year of ZDZ on Gnar be like a great side laner. He kind of plays this champion like Tryndamere. We're going to be on side lane for a large portion of the game, and when we show up to team fights, we're going to be in mini Gnar. There's no Mega Gnars to TP in with. That last fight, he TP'd, he had mini Gnar. So we'll keep track. We'll do a little bit of tracker. ZDZ Gnar versus this lock champion, who I kind of want to treat as like a pin cushion. I want to have that little doll that, you know, I can like squeeze and like Locke feels it. So like I'm using the force of will on the doll, and Locke is like, oh man, I feel like I'm getting crushed. What's going on?
And this is, just to be clear, because I'm not understanding, this is out of malice against the champion.
Yes.
Not a performance.
No, Bulldog, I might have professional disagreements with his play, but I would never do that to a player.
No, of course.
Wishing violence on another person is bad. Maybe.
I'm just trying.
Come on, Bulldog.
Yeah. That was a really nice stun from Xiaohao. Saves him from the kick from Junhao. Doesn't save him from much more. I guess we're about to find out. Parukia has got an ultimate to layer on top of this, which actually traps ThunderTalk in the fight for too long, as Xiaohao is going to re-engage over the top with the Grand Starfall. ThunderTalk are now trapped on the wrong side of the jungle, and Bulldog is squeezing. Make no mistake. Right over the top of the wall, picking up 2 kills. That is why you pick Locke, and EDG managed to manifest an ace, and now the Baron to go with it.
Do we have the health bars for this? Because Leave, if we don't have a honey fruit, we're going to get bailed out by Riot Games. Great job from Summoner's Rift themselves. Look at that. EDG, they win a huge team fight. The damage goes on to Leaf. It's not on to Jia, and EDG run over their opponents. A mid-tier 2. The Baron to be started. ThunderTalk are going to go for the Dragon. They're going to stop their opponents from stacking to a soul. Or is it just that we're going to try to chase ZZ out? I mean, cool, you can try to kill him, but he doesn't even have a bounty. That is just an expensive down trade here for TT in one of their last 2 series of the regular season. Okay, where is Meganar? We're walking in when Meganar Ultimate has gone on cooldown. Junhao, this was a great attempt, but the stun from JJ stops him from doing a little bit of an insect onto the Pantheon. The damage is just not there, though. He's trying to hit, but there's a Pantheon in his face. Heru's disconnected from his team, and this is CDZ with Mininar. It feels like I caster blessed this one. We're really getting very sanctimonious on the show tonight.
Yeah, that was the perfect example of what you were talking about. And it's crazy that EDG still managed to win that fight. Haven't lost a member yet here either, as ZDZ does go Mega momentarily, if only to disengage. And Bulldog on the flank is going to force 3 members of ThunderTalk over to him. And the hook not connecting will deny any chance of them actually punishing a flanking lock. Bot lane tower certainly going to go down here. ZDG accentuate their gold lead to a stylish 8.5 thousand gold. Top lane tier 2 still standing. We could hit 10K by the end of the night.
Yep, and ThunderTalk, I have a watch on my desk. I'm looking, and it is no longer ticking. The clock has stopped. I don't even know if we get to turn into a pumpkin. It might just be like going to jail in Monopoly. You don't even get to collect $200. You just lose the game, right? Like, look at my Orianna. Where is the damage from her champion?
I see why people are picking Orianna. I get it, but it feels like we were talking about pretty bad that we're not seeing Ori build real damage in this meta. Otherwise, I'd be looking at this and going, ThunderTalk are one good team fight away. But that's not true. ThunderTalk are one absolutely immaculate team fight, and at least 2 more items on away from being able to win this game.
Yep.
And meanwhile, EDG, they're one mediocre team fight away.
They're one more ZDZ teleport with Mininar away from winning this game, which is huge, massive. I felt like every time I went into chat, there was an EDG game, so many people were flaming them, and that is, to be fair, that's Twitch, that is chat. That is also just people being mean online to pro players. Kind of a normal, even though I'm not super excited about the prospect. But they were 0-11 before the start of this week. There was absolutely no hope that this team was actually going to be able to pull off some wins. And while they will be locked in as the 8th seed, I think there is now more of a real conversation that they could, you know, provide an actual challenge to our play-ins teams from Group Nirvana.
I'd expect that they do. Especially if this game gets closed out. If this game does not get closed out, 9, nearly 10,000 gold ahead, EDG are ending their season with two more series losses. There's no way. If they win this game,
though, want you to believe.
They're probably making it through to playoffs. That's true. That's true. They could just be faking me out one more time.
That's what Big LPL wants you to think.
This whole season been a bit of a psyop from EDG, as even now we can't fully believe any other team with a 10,000 gold lead and we're going, this game is over. With EDG we're going, it's probably over. And fingers crossed.
You're saying psyop, and all I can think about is the psyop was actually it's Xiaohao who was the player. Xiaohao was the problem, guys. We just look. He didn't get relegated, but he missed playoffs, right? Like he went over to Weibo. They had some good games, they had some bad games, and now they brought over JJ, and this team is right as rain. Took a little bit for him to acclimate to the team, but this is definitely a marked improvement. And this Pantheon has looked nigh unstoppable. There's been some moments, but now we're a minute before Dragon, and ThunderTalk, you just gotta make it. Oh.
Xiaohao just like, he knows, man. He's looking specifically for Junhao and going, you're not going to get a kick. I know that your champion, especially the later the game gets, relies on making these plays. That's not happening. Now, in this case, it does cost Xiaohao his flash, so maybe a little bit less mobile, less safe of a Pantheon. EDG are extremely spread out. Pincering, squeezing ThunderTalk once again. Grand Starfall right on top of them. Xiaohao gets to zone 3 people while Bulldog waits for his moment. Shockwave gonna connect. Junhao commits to the fight, as does Bulldog, who goes golden momentarily. No backline on top of Bulldog as he gets kicked back in, but the fight is winning for EDG. It is 2 kills for Leave, and now finally, with a Mega Gnar in tow, EDG will complete the ace 30 minutes into the game and look for the end of it.
Who would have thought it? A team that was 1-11 to start off week 5 are going to go 4-0 over the case of 2 series, taking a 2-0 over WE, taking a 2-0 over ThunderTalk, are going to move to 2-11 here in the LPL.
2-0, and it's not even close. ThunderTalk get shut down at the end of the split, and EDG start to rise up just in time for play-ins.
I said I wouldn't believe it until it happened. I said I would not trust EDG to 2-0, to blow up 2 Nexus, to find a second series win. But now, anything's possible, man. Anything is possible now. They're going to play against JDG on Sunday. That could be the start of something truly beautiful if they get a 6-0 week and shock the LPL in the last part of the regular season.
We got to be real careful with the JDG series as well. Like we talked about, this EDG balance, it's delicate, man. You start to get your uptick just at the right time. JDG, that's a big jump from ThunderTalk, even with the season that JDG has been having, maybe a little fraught in recent history. EDG being able to take down JDG would be massive. But even today, finding the second series win, I am calling a big victory. This is a great way for EDG to end. And again, despite the fact that I didn't bring it back up because it was a little too cursed, Xiaohao ended up having a really, really fantastic Pantheon game. I said I was judgmental of Pantheons. That Pantheon, that was not just correct. That was a bit of art.
Yeah, it was great. Wow, ThunderTalk guys, we've got some work to do now. They're locked for play-ins. There's nothing they can do now. So sorry, ThunderTalk. We'll see you off in what you guys can do. It doesn't matter now. Their game differential is -10. If they win the next one, it's 8. LGD. Yeah. Bless you.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's. So I'm looking at Leaguepedia, and technically it says that they're not out, but LGD have 2 series left, which means that they could go -8. ThunderTalk would have to win. Their last series is against LGD. Wow. Okay. They need to get a 2-0 over LGD, and they also need LGD to win 0 games between now and Sunday. That's tough.
And LGD are going up against WE, which, as we learned, as EDG learned earlier this week, not an unbeatable team. So, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think EDG.
WE's gonna play AL.
Yeah. EDG and ThunderTalk are just going to have to get real comfortable at the moment because LGD do still look a cut above and certainly capable of taking a game off of WE, but the stakes are still there. The hope for dodging play-ins possible for ThunderTalk. If I'm honest, even though play-ins are a risk, they could use the extra games because playoffs are
single
going
elim,
to
though.
be...
It's single elim. It's single elim.
It is.
I don't know.
It is. listen. Would you rather? I guess that's a stupid question. I was gonna say, would you rather go out last in playoffs or be eliminated in play-ins? Is there really a big difference? I guess there is. There is a big difference.
There is. I would say the championship points are nice. Just being able to make top 6 is a very good boon. Even if play-ins teams start in the lower bracket, that's just 30 points. And ThunderTalk already have 10. If they make top 6, they actually knock Weibo out of the regional finals, which is the funniest thing of all time. So, yeah, making playoffs.
This has become extremely high stakes.
Yeah, Weibo is like, guys, how did you lose to EDG? This is not. I mean, likely that ThunderTalk are, you know, they're going to be a play-ins, highly likely, at least in my estimations. But
yeah,
talking about what actually just happened here today, Bulldog and JJ. What a performance between these two. Had the lock, you had a great pick into the Ori. I think that's why we've seen Orianna kind of slide. She just has a lot more losing matchups. Some of her other champions in the mid lane have kind of started to spike. And I think it's just important, the experience difference, right? You're going up against a player who has already played in Tier 1 before. And Heru, for as much time as he has now spent here in the LPL this year, just has not shown what it, like, necessarily the chops. And it's a long off season, right? Like, if you lose this next series, if you lose that best of 5, you're done for all of 2026.
I'm thinking about it. I'm considering, can we really chalk this series up to Heru? I know that his rise wasn't good. He probably is the biggest continuous problem over 2 games. But it feels like an inaccurate picture of this game to say that an Orianna actually actively lost them. I think Heru was passively losing the whole time, but I don't think that there's a single member of ThunderTalk that I'd point out and go, you threw this a little bit too much. I suppose in the grand scheme of things, across 2 games, Heru is the player who underperformed the most. But like you said, matchup-wise, this was likely going to happen. ThunderTalk maybe could have invested a little bit more in the top lane, especially considering that you were highlighting Keshi earlier on. I think that was a potential winning avenue for them if they tried to shut down ZDZ and, more importantly, promote Keshi earlier on, who actually did have a pretty good game on the Renekton at the start.
That's crazy. So many fights for ZDC.
No,
dude, like, he's 16.7. Yes, what do you mean? It's 16.7 for Heru.
Okay, you're right. That's my
Yeah. Oh, man. Like, On got his 4 items, but the game just ended. We needed to contest one of these early dragons to stop them from running over us. We never really addressed the side. And frankly, I mean, Junhao, this is now 2 games on Lee Sin back-to-back where I have not been, like, that impressed. I think he had a Lee Sin game versus... Let's go check the match history. He had a Lee Sin game. I don't remember if it was in the JDG series or highly likely it was in either one of their games last week against BLG or AL. Where he just didn't look like he was the same guy. He just obviously this time could not find the insects, the insect kicks all those times. Like you were kind of pointing out, like JJ's like, oh, I'm gonna press my flash. Oh, I'm gonna stun you and walk away so you can't actually hit me. It just was too tough, and we spent too much of our early game losing and not winning.
Yeah, Xiaohao, absolutely massive for EDG in this game. Has made the biggest argument for player of the game. If I'm on the LPL broadcast, I'm probably giving Xiaohao player of the game and then giving Bulldog player of the series.
Sure.
But just because...
You know...
Xiaohao had a very bad game 1. Yeah.
Yeah. So, because they've only won 1 series before this, the player of the matches are split. Both Jieje and Xiaohao are tied 1 apiece for EDG player of the series. And then player of the games, the highest person is both Jeje and Xiaohao with 3 player of the games each. So if Jeje wins one, he would then finally overtake the guy that is not even on team anymore.
God bless him.
God bless. Or it could go to ZDZ, who has won, and I remember that one because that is the single game win versus BLG. That was the Vayne game where he was a little all over the place, in my opinion.
If ZDZ gets player of the game for this, I don't think my mental could take it, to be honest.
There's
ZDZ.
so many Mega Nars, bro. So many Nar fights where he's just Mini Nar the entire time. Losing my mind out here. But
It's tough. It's tough.
they won. The Lock Champion won. He won on Nar. It just was meant to be.
Yeah.
EDG were meant to win this series. It was written in the stars.
And so, you and I at the start, we're talking about these two players, not just in the context of like good things about EDG, but wow, we are giving this to Bulldog. That is not completely undeserved, but Jeje was okay. That's fine. I think Jeje has been robbed. I am putting that on record. Let Big LPL hear me. But yes, Bulldog was good. He's probably
What was your point before this? Before we got hijacked by
I was thinking about how, we're pitching Jeje and Bulldog, or, theoretically pitching Jeje and Bulldog, not for what they are bringing to EDG now, but for what they can bring to other teams in the future. And as much as we're hyped about EDG's end of season, if we're looking at this just through player agent eyes, this was also a really good series for Jeje and Bulldog to have these big standouts. I don't know if they stay on EDG. I don't know what is happening to EDG given the extremely disappointing split that they have had so far. If they're able to pull it back, oh my god, magic. Yes, we'll stick this roster together forever, whatever it is. As of right now, EDG probably making some significant changes, even with a mediocre showing in playoffs.
Yeah.
And Bulldog and Jeje likely going to be the surviving members of that, whether it be on EDG or whether it be on another roster. Based on what we saw tonight, those guys are sticking around. They're sticking in the LPL.
I think if we are looking at players who have been very loyal to this org or have been on this org for periods of time in their past, then it should just be Jeje, Parukia, and Leave. Leave was originally an EDG youth player, and then he got to play for a little bit, and then he went back to the bench, came back to play, but he played under the NIP banner, and now it's him coming back. Parukia, as exciting as he has kind of been faded in and out. They brought in Jue, obviously, to try to bring the ceiling of this team. Bulldog, man, I've said, again, I've not been very kind to you this year. I think a lot of times you were very invisible, but we're getting close to Worlds. We're getting close to the last playoffs of the year. And if you smurf between now and the end of September, then, I'll eat my words, brother. You've been not impeccable, but really, really impressive so far this week.
Yeah, this week. Huge caveat. The last half of this game, even. Because, first half of the game, Bulldog, I think, was struggling still in deciding when he needs to push his own advantage, when he wants to sit in the side lane and just farm up because nobody can match him, and when he actually wants to play with the team. And more recently, in the last 2 series of this week, Bulldog has been deciding, I want to sit with the team. I think this is the right answer. It is the right answer.
Mm-hmm.
I am worried that at some point Bulldog will forget that, especially as the playoffs and chances of play-ins.
What is your age? Yo, my agent is flaming me. My agent is telling me I'm gonna forget my swag.
No, I'm saying that this player who we are hoping will end up smurfing the last half of this season and the entirety of September. That there are risks here, and I'm not going to lie to you and say that there aren't risks, because otherwise, what kind of agent would I be? There are risks with this player. The benefits are incredible, but it is up to EDG to keep Bulldog focused on the team's success and not his own, because that's when he's going to be most powerful. That's all I'm saying. I want the best for my player, and I need EDG to be stepping up to do that.
Why is my agent trying to tell people that maybe we should cool off on the Bulldog stocks? What is going on here? Whatever.
Listen, if you oversell, nobody ever buys again. I'm selling correctly.
That's not true. Look at like 90% of the United States economy. We just oversell everything.
That thing is collapsing. That thing is. That's a house of cards, bro.
All right. Well. And with that, we're going to get ready for our second series of the night. We've got ALWE, we've got Rafa and K-Man on the call for that one, so we're going to kick it to a short break. It's been wonderful to have to share the stage and the mic with Dia and myself. Thank you all for joining. And don't go anywhere. We've got more series, more LPL right after this.